Hello. If you've watched any of my previous videos, you know that I unapologetically claim to be lazy. It's no claim, it's the real thing. If you haven't watched any of my videos before, well, welcome to luthermaddy.com, helping humans learn. So let me give you the scenario. Even though I've retired recently here, I'm still teaching a couple classes for a couple colleges. I still really love statistics, and so I just couldn't get away from it and wanted to keep my brain active. So I was working with a lesson, and I wanted to actually create a video to show my students how to actually do a hypothesis test. And I was looking for the data that I had previously used, and I couldn't find it. I just couldn't find it at all. But then I realized, hey, I have it on my website. And so I said, okay, well, that'll be very easy. I'll just go out to my website and I'll just click and drag and copy the information in. Well, doggone it, it was an image. It wouldn't let me just click and drag and bring it in. Well, I remembered that Excel had the data from picture feature, and that's the feature I used, and it saved me tons of time. And it's a feature you can use as well to save you lots of time. If you've got an image that has some data on it that you can't just click and drag to bring the data in, if it's got some numbers, some words, some whatever that data is, Excel can actually bring that data in from an image. So in this video, I'm going to show you exactly what I did to bring in that little bit of data. Again, it is a wonderful step. It'll save you lots of time. And you're thinking that by the time I went through all these steps, I probably could have typed the information. And yes, I could have, but I wanted to learn this new feature as well. So let's go ahead and get started. So here is what I wanted to do. I wanted to do a hypothesis test, and I realized that the data was out on my website. And my website, luthermaddy.com, of course, I'm steering you there many times, but I had the two sample hypothesis testing procedure instructions out here, and the data that I was looking for was down near the bottom of it. So I scroll down here to the bottom, and there's the data that I wanted. I wanted the before and after. I'm doing a dependent sample here, before and after. Now, again, as I mentioned, I tried clicking and dragging, and I couldn't do it because I pasted this in as an image rather than just putting it in as a table. Well, fortunately, Windows has the tool called the snipping tool that will allow me to snip this. So I'm going to go ahead and turn on the snipping tool, go to the snipping tool here, and choose new. And you might use another tool for screen capture. That's just fine. And I don't want to bring in too much information here, so I'm just going to very gently bring in just the data that I want. Alright, so now I've got that data, and there it is in the snipping tool. Now, if I were going to use this image again and again, I could save it. But the cool thing about Excel is that it lets me actually steal, if you will, the data from an image that's in my clipboard. And so I don't want to go to all the steps to saving this and then importing it into Excel, but I could if I wanted to. So I'm going to go ahead and minimize this. Don't need this anymore. I'm going to minimize my web page, and I'm going to go back to Excel. So I'd like the data so that I can do my two sample test here, and I'm just going to go right here. I'm going to go to the data tab, and there it is, data from picture. Now I'm going to click the little drop down list here, and I could then, if I had saved the file, I could bring it in as a file, or it's smart enough to read what's in my clipboard. So I'm just going to go ahead and say picture from clipboard, and it begins analyzing it. Hopefully it'll bring it in correctly. Well, I'll give you a hint. I've tested this once or twice, and it should work just fine here. And again, this is a very small amount of data. You could do this with a large amount of data as well. Okay. So there it is. It looks like it understood the picture. It looks pretty good. This is kind of in the preview area here. It's giving me an idea of what I want. It's close to what I wanted. It's not perfect. I'm going to have to do a little bit of manipulation here. No biggie. So I'm just going to go ahead and click on Insert Data. And it says, hey, there's a couple problems here. Do you want to insert it anyway? Of course I do. So I'm going to go ahead and choose Insert Anyway. And there it is. Now, if I'm unsure, that the numbers, may have not come in correctly, I can go ahead and put this beside it, and I can scroll down here and look at the data and make sure that it's the same data that I was looking at here. If I can find that data again, there we go. Okay, so 4439. It looks like everything is good except to put it in the wrong column. So that's an easy fix. I'm just going to go ahead and drag this over, highlight it, and drag it over to move it. And I'm just going to go ahead and do a little bit of formatting here. I'm going to do a merge and center. And let's boldface these and center these so that I know those are the headings. And there's my data. And now I can go ahead and do some analysis here. I can change some formatting here. Let's go ahead and change this to number formatting. Okay, so again, you see how easy it is to bring in data from a picture. So then, and you know, I've actually tried this with actually some photographs that I've taken. And as long as you know you've got a good camera, you can actually, if you're at a presentation, for instance, you could go ahead and just steal the data from the presentation and use it in your own analysis. Well, hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, please consider liking it. Please consider subscribing to my channel. Remember, I do have step-by-step instructions out on my website, luthermaddy.com. Thank you very much, and we'll see you in the next video.